Look at this garage, dark, cluttered, filled with junk nobody wanted. Now look at this, a bright, modern accessory dwelling unit worth $75,000. Same property, 6 months apart. How much do you think we made on this flip? $300,000 gross, $150,000 net profit, 87% return on investment. And it all started with a house in Long Beach that everyone else passed on because they couldn't see what we saw. Stay with me for the next 60 minutes because I'm going to show you exactly how we did it. Every decision, every dollar spent, every strategy from the 2026 Best ROI Renovations report that made this possible. This isn't theory. This is a real project with real numbers that you can replicate starting today. This is Long Beach, Los Angeles County, but we're not talking about Belmont Shore or Naples Island where prices are already sky high. We're talking about Rose Park, a neighborhood that most investors don't even have on their radar, and that's exactly why it's such an incredible opportunity. Rose Park sits right in the heart of Long Beach, just blocks from Atlantic Avenue, where new cafes and restaurants are opening every month. You're 10 minutes from Long Beach Airport. You have direct access to the 710 freeway. Bixby Park is 5 blocks away. Alamitos Bay is a 15-minute bike ride. And 4th Street Retro Row, with its vintage shops and art galleries, is just on the other side of the neighborhood. This area was traditionally working class. Modest homes built in the 50s and 60s for aerospace workers and port employees. But something has changed in the last 5 years. Young professionals priced out of Los Angeles proper are discovering Long Beach. Artists and creatives are moving in. Families looking for walkable neighborhoods with character are buying here. And the homes in Rose Park have something special. Mid-century ranch-style architecture, clean lines, big lots. Original details that, when restored properly, create that California indoor-outdoor lifestyle everyone wants. These aren't McMansions. They're authentic, characterful homes with soul. Here's what the market looks like. Renovated ranch-style homes in Rose Park are selling between $450,000 and $480,000. Some with ADS or near the water are pushing $500,000. But unrenovated homes with outdated layouts, those are still in the $320 to $380 range. That gap is your opportunity. The neighborhood has all the ingredients for appreciation: proximity to job centers, walkability, local culture, good bones in the housing stock. And it's still affordable enough that you can get in, renovate, and sell with a meaningful profit margin. Rose Park isn't the next big neighborhood. It's becoming the next big neighborhood right now. And we got in at exactly the right time. We found this property listed at $335,000, a 1965 ranch-style home, 1,450 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms. And here's the key detail: a 6,500 square foot lot with a 2-car garage. In Long Beach, lot size is gold, because lot size means ADU, potential. The listing had been sitting for 43 days. In a market where renovated homes were going in a week, this one wasn't moving. Why? The listing photos showed dark, closed-off rooms. A kitchen walled off from the rest of the house. Bathrooms that scream 1985, and that garage filled with boxes and old furniture. But we did our homework. We pulled the comparable sales. Unrenovated ranch homes with open floor plans in Rose Park were closing at $450,000 minimum. Some were hitting $470, $480. The difference between this house and those? Layout and finishes. Problems we could solve in 6 months with under $90,000. Then we found out why the price was aggressive. Divorce sale. Both spouses wanted out fast. Neither wanted to deal with repairs or staging or months on the market. They just wanted to close and split the proceeds. That's the kind of motivated seller situation you dream about. We made an offer at $320,000, 10% below asking. We included a letter explaining we were cash buyers who could close in 2 weeks with no contingencies except inspection. They accepted within 24 hours. Here's the math we ran before making that offer. Comparable sales for similar-sized renovated ranches, $450,000 to $480,000. Add ADU potential, and we're looking at $470,000 to $500,000 minimum. If we could open up the floor plan, modernize the kitchen and bathrooms, and convert part of that garage into a livable ADU space, we'd be creating at least $150,000 in value. With a renovation budget under 90,000, the numbers worked. We pulled the trigger. Let's walk through what we bought. From the street, you see a classic mid-century ranch. Low-slung roofline, large front windows, original brick accent wall. The bones were good, but the landscaping was overgrown. The paint was faded. The front door was a cheap, hollow core replacement from the 90s. First impressions matter, and this first impression said neglected. Walking inside, the layout problem was immediately obvious. You entered into a small, dark hallway. To the left, a closed-off living room with small windows. To the right, a separate formal dining room that felt cramped. Straight ahead, a kitchen completely walled off from everything else. This house was designed for 1965 living, where the kitchen was a separate workspace and families gathered in distinct rooms. But modern buyers want open floor plans. If they want to cook while talking to guests in the living room, they want visual flow. This house fought against that at every turn. The kitchen itself was trapped in the 80s. Dark oak cabinets with brass handles. Laminate countertops in a beige speckled pattern. Linoleum flooring that was peeling at the edges. A small window over the sink that let in minimal light. No island. No breakfast bar. No connection to the rest of the home. It was functional, but completely outdated. The bathrooms were even worse. The main bathroom had 3 bedrooms sharing it. That's a deal breaker for most families today. The tile was that pale pink from the 80s. The vanity was dark and bulky. The bathtub shower combo was stained. And the worst part, the master bedroom didn't have its own bathroom. In 2026, buyers expect a master suite with a private bath. Without it, you're limiting your buyer pool significantly. Then there was the half bathroom. Tiny. Wallpaper from decades ago. A pedestal sink with rust stains. It worked, but barely. Now let's talk about the garage. This is where most people saw a problem. We saw dollar signs. It was a standard 2-car garage. Concrete floor. Old wooden shelves loaded with junk. Poor lighting. 1 electrical outlet. No insulation, but the structure was solid. The roof was good, and here's what mattered most. It was 600 square feet with high ceilings and a side entrance. In California, especially in urban areas like Long Beach, there's been a massive push for accessory dwelling units since 2020. The state has streamlined permitting. Cities are required to approve ADUs that meet basic standards, and the market has caught on. Buyers love properties with ADU potential because it means rental income. $20,000 to $30,000 a year from a unit in your backyard or converted garage. That changes the economics of homeownership entirely. This garage wasn't just storage space. It was 400 square feet of convertible living space that could add $75,000 to $100,000 in value. And even if we didn't complete the full ADU build-out, just getting it permitted and roughed in would make the property far more attractive. The backyard was large. It mostly dirt and overgrown plants, but it had good fencing and potential for outdoor living space. In Southern California, a usable backyard is a major selling point. Walking through this house, we saw everything wrong with it. And we saw exactly how to fix it. Remove the wall between the kitchen and living room. Create an open concept. Build a master bathroom. Update both existing bathrooms. Convert part of the garage into an ADU. Modernize finishes throughout. This wasn't a complicated flip. It was a strategic one. After our inspection and contractor walkthrough, we sat down and built the budget. Total renovation cost, $88,000. Let me break down exactly where every dollar went and why. Kitchen remodel, $25,000. This was our biggest single investment, and for good reason. According to the 2026 Home Renovation ROI report, a minor kitchen remodel with an open concept conversion delivers up to 110% return on investment. That means for every dollar you spend, you get back $1 in increased home value. That's not just a good investment. That's one of the best investments you can make in any property. Here's what $25,000 bought us. Complete demolition of the wall separating the kitchen from the living and dining areas. We worked with a structural engineer to confirm it wasn't load-bearing. It wasn't, which saved us money, but we still needed a beam to span the opening and tie into the existing structure properly. That was $3,500. New cabinets in white shaker style, not custom, but not builder grade either. Mid-range cabinets that look clean and timeless. We went with cabinets that extended to the ceiling to maximize storage and create that modern high-end look. $7,500 installed. Quartz countertops in light gray with subtle veining. Quartz is more durable than granite, doesn't need sealing, and has a contemporary look that appeals to a wide range of buyers. We included a large island with seating for 4. That island became the centerpiece of the whole house. $4,500. Stainless steel appliances, mid-range brands, nothing ultra-premium, but quality names that buyers recognize and trust. Range, microwave, dishwasher, refrigerator, $3,500. Subway tile backsplash in white with gray grout. Classic, clean, timeless. $1,200 installed. Under cabinet LED lighting and 3 industrial-style pendant lights over the island. Odain lighting transforms a kitchen. It went from dark and depressing to bright and inviting. $800. Sink and faucet. Undermount stainless sink with a contemporary chrome pull-down faucet. $600. And finally, labor for demolition, electrical work, plumbing, installation, and painting. This was the bulk of the cost. $8,000. Total for the kitchen, $25,000. And this wasn't just about making it look nice. Open concept kitchens are the #1 feature modern buyers look for. By opening up this space, we fundamentally changed how the house felt. It went from a compartmentalized 1965 floor plan to a contemporary flowing living space. That shift alone probably added $40,000 to $50,000 in value. 2 bathrooms, $20,000 total. Let's break this down. The main bathroom shared by bedrooms 2 and 3 got $13,000. We gutted it completely. Out with the pink tile, out with the bulky vanity. We installed large format light gray porcelain tile on the walls and white hexagonal mosaic tile on the floor. A new walk-in shower with a frameless glass door and a rainfall shower head. Modern floating double vanity in white with integrated sinks. Chrome fixtures throughout. New mirror with integrated LED lighting, a contemporary exhaust fan. The transformation was dramatic. Then we created a master bathroom. This is the second strategy from the 2026 ROI report. Adding a bathroom, especially a master ensuite, returns 70 to 80% of the cost in added value. And more importantly, it makes your property competitive. Today's buyers expect the master bedroom to have its own bathroom. Without it, many won't even consider your home. We carved out space from an oversized closet and an adjacent hallway area. It wasn't huge, but it didn't need to be. 70 square feet was enough for a shower, toilet, and single vanity. We kept the design consistent with the main bathroom. Gray and white tile. Modern fixtures. Clean and functional. $7,000. Total for bathrooms, $20,000. And the impact was huge. We went from a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath house to a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath house with a master suite. That's a different category of home. That's a different buyer pool. That's tens of thousands of dollars in added value. Garage conversion. $15,000. This is where the magic happened. We didn't do a full ADU build-out. That would have been $50,000 to $70,000 more. Instead, we did what I call an ADU-ready conversion. We converted about 40% of the garage, roughly 400 square feet, into a livable space while keeping 1 car space functional. Here's what we did. Framed out walls to separate the living area from the garage area. Insulated everything properly. Ran electrical for outlets, lighting, and a small kitchen circuit. Roughed in plumbing for a bathroom and kitchenette. Installed drywall and painted. Put in a good quality laminate floor. Added a large window for natural light. Installed a separate entrance with real door and small porch. The space had heating and cooling tied into the main house system. The result was a bright, clean, finished space that could function as a studio, apartment, home office, gym, or guest suite. And because we roughed in the plumbing and electrical correctly, a future owner could easily add a full kitchen and bathroom for another $15,000 to $20,000 and have a rental unit generating $2,000 a month. We didn't complete that final step because the math showed we'd get almost the same value appreciation by making it ADU ready and letting buyers see the potential. This is where the ROI report data really shines. Garage conversions to living space in urban California markets are showing return on investment of 125 to 150%. We spent $15,000. We conservatively added $40,000 in value. And we created the potential for a future owner to add another $50,000 by finishing it into a full ADU. Buyers love options. They love income potential. This delivered both. A DU permit preparation, $10,000. We hired an architect to draw up complete plans for converting the space into a legal ADU. These plans were submitted to the city for review. We didn't wait for full approval because that can take months, but having professional plans in hand and submitted added immediate credibility and value. When buyers see that you've already done the homework, eliminated the uncertainty, and have a clear path to rental income, they're willing to pay more. This $10,000 investment probably added $20,000 to $30,000 in perceived value. The rest of the budget was paint, flooring, landscaping, and small repairs. Interior paint throughout the house in warm white. Exterior paint in a modern gray with white trim. New front door. Refinished the original hardwood floors in the bedrooms. New luxury vinyl plank flooring in living areas. Basic landscaping with drought-tolerant plants and fresh mulch. All of this came to about $13,000. Total renovation budget, $88,000. Every dollar spent strategically, every dollar focused on the highest ROI improvements according to current market data. No wasted money on over-the-top finishes, no unnecessary luxuries, just smart, targeted upgrades that would maximize resale value. Now let's talk about the actual work. This project took 6 months from purchase to sale. Let me walk you through what happened during those months and the challenges we faced. Week 1 and 2 were demolition. We brought in a crew to remove the wall between the kitchen and living room. This was louder and messier than expected, because once we opened up the wall, we discovered old plumbing that needed rerouting. That added $3,000 we hadn't budgeted for. Lesson learned. Always have a contingency fund for unexpected issues in older homes. We also demolished the old kitchen completely. Cabinets out. Countertops out. Old flooring ripped up. At the same time, another crew started framing out the garage conversion and the new master bathroom. Demolition always looks terrible. The house looked worse at the end of week 2 than when we bought it, but that's part of the process. You have to break things down before you can build them back better. Week 3 and 4 were structural and rough-in work. The structural engineer came in and supervised the installation of the beam over where the kitchen wall used to be. We had to get city inspections for this. It passed. Then the plumber and electrician did their rough-in work. New plumbing for the kitchen island. New plumbing for the master bathroom. Upgraded electrical panel to handle the additional load from the kitchen appliances and garage space. Electrical outlets and lighting circuits throughout. HVAC guy extended ductwork to the new bathroom and garage area. This phase is not glamorous. There's nothing pretty to photograph, but it's critical. If you cut corners on electrical and plumbing, you'll have problems down the road. We used licensed, insured contractors for all of this. It cost more than hiring random guys from Craigslist, but we got permitted work that would pass inspection and that future owners could trust. Week 5 and 6 were installation phase. Kitchen cabinets went in. They looked incredible. That white shaker style against the newly painted gray-blue accent wall in the dining area created exactly the modern coastal vibe we wanted. The quartz countertops were templated and installed. The island took shape and immediately became the focal point of the entire house. When you walked in, your eye went straight to that island and the open space around it. The transformation from closed-off, choppy layout to open, flowing space was dramatic. Tile work started in the bathrooms. The main bathroom got its gray porcelain walls and white hex floor. The new master bath got the same treatment. The garage space got its drywall and flooring. Everything was starting to come together. Weeks 7 and 8 were finishing phase. Backsplash installed in the kitchen. Appliances delivered and installed. Bathroom vanities, mirrors, and fixtures installed. Interior painting completed. Exterior painting done. The house started looking like a home again, instead of a construction zone. We replaced the front door with a modern fiberglass door in a rich wood tone. We added new house numbers in contemporary brass. We cleaned up the front yard, added fresh plants, and put down new mulch. Curb appeal matters enormously. People make a decision about whether they want to see a house within seconds of pulling up. We made sure those first seconds were impressive. The hardwood floors in the bedrooms were refinished. They looked beautiful. Original wood floors are a huge selling point, especially in mid-century homes. The luxury vinyl plank in the living areas looked like real wood, but was more durable and water-resistant. Perfect for an open living space where people would be cooking, eating, and gathering. The garage conversion was finished. We painted it in the same warm white as the rest of the house, added simple but stylish lighting, put in blinds on the window, installed the kitchenette base cabinet, and a small counter space ready for appliances. The bathroom was roughed in, but not finished, allowing buyers to see the potential without us having to invest in final fixtures. By the end of week 8, the renovation was essentially complete. But we weren't ready to list, because in a competitive market like Long Beach, in 2026, presentation matters. You're not just selling a house, you're selling a lifestyle. You're selling a dream. That's where staging comes in. We hired a professional staging company that specialized in coastal contemporary design. This was $4,000 for 2 months of staging. Hey, it sounds like a lot, but staged homes sell faster and for more money. The data is clear on this, and in a market where we were trying to hit $620,000, we needed every advantage. The style was coastal chic. Not over-the-top nautical with anchors and rope everywhere, sophisticated, clean, beachy but modern. The color palette was whites, soft grays, pale blues, and natural wood tones. Think West Elm meets Long Beach lifestyle. In the living room they brought in a white slip-covered sofa, 2 woven rattan chairs with blue cushions, a reclaimed wood coffee table, simple abstract art on the walls with ocean-inspired colors, a large fiddle-leaf fig plant in the corner, throw pillows in navy and white stripes, a jute area rug. Everything felt relaxed but pulled together. The kitchen island got the full treatment, a wooden bowl filled with lemons, a white ceramic vase with eucalyptus branches, a French press and 2 coffee mugs, a cookbook propped open. And these small touches make the space feel lived in and aspirational at the same time. People could imagine themselves making coffee there on a Saturday morning. The dining area had a simple wood table with white chairs, a low centerpiece with succulents, place settings for 4, again, not overstyled, just enough to help buyers visualize using the space. The master bedroom was kept minimal, white bedding with a textured gray throw blanket, 2 matching nightstands with simple lamps, art above the bed. And here's the key. The new master bathroom door was left open so people could immediately see that the master had its own bath. That's a major selling point, and we wanted it visible the moment people looked into the bedroom. The second and third bedrooms were staged as a home office and a guest room. The office had a desk, chair, bookshelf, and some styled accessories. This showed buyers how flexible the space was. In it, the guest room had a bed and simple decor, and then the garage conversion. This is where we really had to nail the staging. We wanted buyers to see it as livable space, not as a garage. We brought in a day bed that could function as a couch, a small desk, a rug, curtains on the window, some artwork. We styled it to look like a cozy studio apartment or artist's workspace, and we made sure to have the ADU plans printed and displayed on the counter so buyers could pick them up and see exactly what the finished potential was. The backyard got a simple setup. We pressure washed the concrete patio, added a small bistro table with 2 chairs, some potted plants, string lights overhead. It was minimal, but it showed the outdoor living potential. The exterior paint in gray and white looked sharp. The landscaping was clean. The whole package felt cohesive. When buyers pulled up, and they saw a well-maintained, mid-century home. When they walked in, they experienced a modern, open floor plan with great light. When they walked through, they saw quality finishes. And when they got to the garage conversion, they saw dollar signs. We listed the property at $620,000. Some agents thought we were pricing too high. Comparable ranches without ADU potential were selling for $590 to $600. But we weren't selling a comparable ranch. We were selling an open concept home with a master suite and ADU-ready income potential. Different category. The listing photos were professional, bright, well-composed, showing off the open kitchen, the modern bathrooms, the garage space. We wrote a description that emphasized the ADU potential and included projected rental income numbers of $1,800 to $2,200 per month. That's $21,000 to $26,000 a year. For buyers thinking like investors, that's huge. We listed on a Thursday, open house that Saturday. 73 groups came through. Now that's a massive turnout. People loved the flow of the house. They loved the kitchen. They loved the master suite. But the conversation that kept happening was about the garage conversion. Buyers were standing there with the ADU plans, asking questions, calculating rental income on their phones. We had hit the right nerve. By Sunday evening, we had 4 offers. 3 were around $600,000. 1 was at $590. None were where we wanted. But then on Monday morning, we got a 5th offer. $620,000. No contingencies except inspection. 30-day close. From a buyer who owned 2 other rental properties in Long Beach and immediately understood the value of the ADU setup, we accepted. Inspection came back clean. Appraisal came in at $615,000, which was fine because the buyer was putting enough down that it didn't matter. We closed exactly 30 days later. Let's talk about the comparable sales that justified our price. During the escrow period, we pulled every recent sale in Rose Park. There was a 1,400 square foot ranch on Park Avenue that sold for $595,000. Renovated kitchen but no master bath. No ADU potential. A 1,500 square foot mid-century on Rose Street sold for $615,000. Beautiful finishes but closed floor plan and small lot. And here's the key comp. A similar-sized ranch on Atlantic Boulevard with a partially finished ADU sold for $650,000. Our house fell right in that range. We had the open concept, we had the master suite, we had the ADU potential with plans already drawn and submitted. At $620,000, we were competitively priced and arguably a better value than the $650 comp because our finishes were newer. The ADU factor was the differentiator. According to current market data, homes with ADU potential or completed ADUs in Long Beach are selling 20% faster than comparable homes without that feature. 20% faster means less time holding the property, less cost, less risk, and buyers are willing to pay a premium for that income potential. Even if they never rent it out, just knowing they could is valuable. Now let's get into the final numbers. This is where we see if all the strategy and work actually paid off. On purchase price, $320,000. Renovation costs, $88,000. Holding costs for 6 months, including property taxes, insurance, utilities, $12,000. Staging for 2 months, $4,000. Closing costs when we bought the property, $8,000. Total investment, $432,000. Subtract our total investment of $432,000 from net proceeds of $582,000. Profit, $150,000. On a 6-month project, that's $25,000 per month. That's $300,000 annualized if you could replicate this twice a year. Now let's talk about return on investment. We invested $432,000 and made $150,000 profit. That's a 34.7% ROI in 6 months. If you annualize that, you're looking at almost 70% annual return. Show me another investment that delivers that kind of return with this level of predictability. But here's what really matters. We didn't get lucky. We executed a strategy based on data. The 2026 Renovation ROI report told us that kitchen open concept conversions return 110%. Our kitchen investment was $25,000. The value it added was probably $40,000 based on comps. That's a 60% return on just that one element. The report told us garage conversions in urban California return 125 to 150%. We invested $15,000 in the garage. It probably added $40,000 to $50,000 in value. That's a 200% return on that element alone. Every decision was driven by knowing which improvements give you the most bang for your buck. We didn't over-improve. We didn't put in luxury finishes that buyers in this price range don't expect. If we didn't install a pool or a fancy outdoor kitchen or custom millwork, we did the things that statistically and demonstrably add the most value. Kitchen, bathrooms, open floor plan, a DU potential. That's it. That's the formula. And the ADU factor deserves special attention. Even though we didn't complete the ADU, just making it ADU ready probably added $20,000 to $30,000 in value compared to homes without that feature. Buyers see those plans. They see the roughed-in space. They calculate the rental income potential, and they're willing to pay more. In some cases, a lot more. The fully finished ADU comp that sold for $650,000 proves that point. If we had invested another $25,000 to fully finish the ADU, we probably could have listed at $660,000 or $670,000. The math would still work, but we decided the risk-reward of stopping at ADU ready was better. We got most of the value for a fraction of the cost. Let me give you 3 key lessons from this project. 3 things you can take and apply to your own deals, whether you're in Long Beach or anywhere else in the country. Lesson number 1. Look for divorce sales and estate sales in emerging neighborhoods. Motivated sellers will give you the price advantage you need to make the numbers work. In competitive real estate markets, finding a great deal is half the battle. We got this house for $320,000 when comparable unrenovated homes were listing at $360,000 to $380,000. That $40,000 to $60,000 discount on the purchase gave us the margin we needed to invest in renovations and still make a meaningful profit. Rose Park in Long Beach isn't on the cover of real estate magazines. It's not where the big institutional investors are buying, but it has all the fundamentals. Good location, proximity to jobs and amenities, housing stock with character, and it's still affordable. Those are the neighborhoods where small investors like us can win. Find those neighborhoods in your market, the ones that are transitioning, the ones where young professionals and families are starting to move, the ones where you see new coffee shops and renovated homes popping up. Get in before everyone else figures it out. Lesson number 2. Garages are hidden money, especially in California. Garage conversions to ADUs or ADU-ready spaces are one of the highest ROI improvements you can make, according to the 2026 data. In urban and suburban markets where housing is expensive and rental demand is high, the ability to generate $1,200 to $2,500 a month in rental income is incredibly valuable to buyers. We spent $15,000 converting part of this garage. We added conservatively $40,000 in value. That's a 167% return on that investment alone. And if we had gone further and spent another $20,000 to finish it completely, we probably would have added another $30,000 to $40,000 in value. The math works at every level. Here's the key. You don't have to finish the ADU to capture most of the value. Just making it ADU ready with proper plans, permits and process, and the space roughed in gets you 80% of the way there. Buyers who want the rental income will finish it themselves. Buyers who just want the option will pay for the potential. Either way, you win. Look at every property you evaluate and ask, is there a garage, basement, or other space that could be converted? In California, Oregon, Washington, and other states with favorable ADU laws, this is a game changer. Lesson number 3. ADU-ready homes sell 20% faster than comparable homes without that feature. This stat comes from recent Long Beach MLS data. We experienced it firsthand. 73 groups at our open house, 5 offers in 4 days. Now people are specifically searching for properties with income potential. It's not just investors, it's regular families who want to offset their mortgage by renting out a unit. It's multi-generational buyers who want space for aging parents. It's people who work from home and want a separate office. The demand is real and it's growing. If you're flipping houses in 2026 and beyond, ignoring ADU potential is leaving money on the table. It's not complicated. It's not risky. It's just about recognizing the opportunity and executing. This project proved that, to us, beyond any doubt. This Long Beach flip taught us something fundamental. You don't need to buy the prettiest house in the best neighborhood to make serious money. You need vision. You need to see potential where others see problems. That cluttered garage that scared away other buyers. We saw $75,000 in added value. That closed-off, choppy floor plan that made the house feel dark and small. We saw an opportunity to create an open, flowing space that modern buyers crave. That lack of a master bathroom that was a deal-breaker for families. We saw a $7,000 investment that would unlock a completely different buyer pool. Rose Park isn't glamorous. It's not Beverly Hills or Manhattan Beach. But for an investor with limited capital who wants to make 6 figures on a flip, it's perfect. And there are neighborhoods just like Rose Park in every major metro area in America. Places that are affordable enough to get into. Places with good bones and good fundamentals. Places where strategic renovations can create massive value. Your job is to find them. We bought this house for $320,000. We put in $88,000 in smart, strategic renovations focused on the highest ROI improvements according to actual data. We sold it 6 months later for $620,000. We walked away with $150,000 in profit. And here's the truth. You can do the same thing. Long Beach has more opportunities like this right now. Not just in Rose Park, in Bixby Knolls, in Wrigley, in areas near Cal State Long Beach. Divorce sales, estate sales, homes with awkward layouts and outdated finishes that are selling below market because they don't show well. Those are your targets. Those are where you build wealth. The strategies we used aren't secret. Open concept kitchen remodels, master bathroom additions, garage ADU conversions. These are all proven, high ROI, renovations backed by data in the 2026 report. You don't have to guess what works. The data tells you. You just have to execute. Your first flip with ADU potential. Your first open concept renovation. Your first 6-figure profit. It starts now, not next year when you have more money. Not when the market is different. Now. All with the knowledge you have. With the strategies that are proven to work. With action. Garages are being converted into income-producing units all over Long Beach right now. Closed kitchens are being opened up. Value is being created by people who understand what buyers want and how to deliver it profitably. The question is, are you going to be one of them? Find the deal. Run the numbers. Focus on high ROI improvements. Execute with quality. And sell to the right buyer who sees the value you created. That's the formula. That's how you turn on $320,000 into $620,000. That's how you build financial freedom one project at a time. Let's keep building together. I'll see you on the next flip.